principle is those who have greater influence also have greater responsibility. Luke 12:34 says, "For unto," this is Jesus speaking, "for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required." Listen, when you and I are in a position of leadership, of great influence, you and I are going to be held to a greater standard, to a greater responsibility. We expect it of our leaders, don't we? Do we not? If the President of the United States can go and he can stand in front of the country and he can lie and say, "I did not do this with that woman," and we say, "That's wrong. You lied. You didn't tell the truth. You should lose your job." We're right, I believe, in thinking that. If that man can't tell me the truth about what he's done, and he can get up there in front of me and lie in front of the whole nation, and they probably all do that, sadly enough, but if they can get up there and blatantly lie like that, I hate to be a cynic, but they can get up there and blatantly lie like that in front of an entire nation of people, then how in the world could I ever trust you to lead this country? How can I trust you with my sons and my daughters that you're sending out there on the front lines to fight our battles? How can I trust you with that when you can't even tell me the truth about your own life? And we hold them to a higher standard than we should, right? Moses and Aaron were held to a higher standard because of who they were. They stood before the people. Moses represented the people before God. That's the main function of a priest. A priest represents the people before God. He says, "I come in their stead, and I bring with me a sacrifice for them. God, accept this." God says, "Yes, I will accept this." That was his main function. He represented the people before God. Moses represented the entire nation. He was the ruler. He was the head honcho, the guy in charge. So of course they were going to be held to a higher standard. And God says, "Moses, Aaron, because of your sin, you will not enter into the promised land." Those who have greater influence also have greater responsibility. We should hold our leaders to a higher standard. Not a perfect one, but a higher one. Let's move on. Look at verses 22 to 29. In verses 22 through 29, we see the death of Aaron and the transfer of his office to his son Eleazar. And I don't think I'm really going to have time to read that. Maybe I will. Let's read a little bit. "And the children of Israel," verse 22 of chapter 20, "the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation, and Moses stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there in the top of the mount. And Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. When all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. Excuse me. This is a reminder here to us that the work of God is not dependent upon one man. It's not dependent upon one man. But rather, it is given to man by God, who enables his servants to do the work. This quote that you've probably heard before kind of sums this idea up, or maybe this principle as well. And it says this quote, "God does not call those who are able, but he enables those that he calls." He enables those that he calls. Therefore, the work of God does not hinge upon man's ability, but upon God's endowment. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Somebody read that for me. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Somebody want to go there? All right, Craig. Zechariah 4, 6.
Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts.
Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. Listen, Aaron, as unique as he was, as the leader that he was, being called out specifically, and his family being the lineage through which all the priesthood would come, there was nothing special about Aaron. Nothing. You see, the only thing that made Aaron special was that God had anointed him for his position. And that's the idea here. The idea is that God is the one who gives us the ability to do whatever it is we do. whether we do it for Him or whether we're doing it at work or no matter what we're doing. If we're unsaved, saved or unsaved, I don't care. It doesn't matter. God gave us, Paul would go on to say, he would say, what do we have to brag about? I'm paraphrasing here. What can we brag about? If God gave us everything we have, there's no room for boasting, right? If God made me 6'7" and I could dunk the basketball from the baseline or from the free throw line, it's not anything I did in and of myself. It's because God just gave me those genetics.